Akron Athletics presents Zips Weekly with Tom Arth. Brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling, Akron Children's Hospital, and Miller Lite. It's Miller time. And here's your host, Joe Dunn.
The Akron Zips coming off of a win at home over the Bryant University Bulldogs. Hello, I'm Dave Scozen sitting in with Joe Dunn, for Joe Dunn, who is out this week. And at my side is Tom Arth, the head coach of the victorious Akron Zips. A 35-14 win this past Saturday. And coach, all week long leading up to Bryant, you talked about putting together 4 quarters for your team. They'd shown what they're capable of in spurts over the first couple of games. Did those 4 quarters come to fruition this past week?
You know, probably not completely. I think we came out, and played well early on. Took an early lead, 14-0, and then it started to feel a lot like the Temple game. All of a sudden it was 14-7, and there was a series of really odd events that happened at the end of the half, and and then we get into the second half, and next thing you know, it's tied 14-14, and in that moment, really, had a decision to make as a team as to how, we were going to proceed and how we were going to let that affect us. And that's where I was most proud of our team, is how we responded after that. Once they tied the game, our ability to come out and go back down and score a touchdown, get a quick 3 and out, go score another touchdown, and really stretch that lead out and take control of the game was really impressive. So I was very proud of our team.
Let's take a look at how that lead took shape and how the odd circumstances at the end of the half took shape as well, as we check out our first half highlights. And Jerry Fitchen, coach, all year long, touchback. That's a good sign, yes?
Absolutely. That's great when he can come out there and kick it through the end zone. Certainly makes kickoff coverage a lot better.
Bryant getting the ball first. They're starting a true freshman, Zevi Eckhouse, and your defense taking advantage. We see Michael Scott making a great play here.
Yeah, this was, their quarterback, he's a young player, true freshman, really talented kid, really like how he plays, but I thought our defense did a nice job of getting to him yesterday.
So the Zips get the ball back after a Bryant punt, and DJ Irons getting the start at quarterback for the first time in an Akron uniform. We see Jonzel Norrells going to work here and dodging a lot of tackles around that offensive line.
Yeah, DJ got the start this past weekend and was really proud of the way he played. Thought he really put the team on his back and made a ton of plays for us, both with his arm and his legs.
Irons making the play here to Kanate Mumfield, who really had a great impact on this game, but the Zips unable to convert on your first possession. Now back to work in that strong running game here by Bryant.
Yeah, Bryant, I thought at times ran the ball really well, and that was something that we, had to address and adjust. And I thought that our defense and defensive staff did a nice job of that in the second half.
Unable to convert, and so DJ Irons we see here on the keeper. So he threw completions to 9 different Zips. He did a lot on the ground with his legs. Here's a big pass over the middle, end zone, touchdown, Michael Matheson. Tell us what happened here from 38 yards out.
No, this was really a really great play. Number one, you can see the pass protection from our offensive line, but, had a situation where we really had leverage on the corner. Mike ran a little double move, created some separation, and DJ put it on the money.
The next sequence here, we're going to see quite a bit of Bubba Arselanian as, again, Bryant continues to try and pound the ball up the middle. Fabrice McKindy is their primary running back, and it just really wasn't working against your defensive line here in the early going.
No, I thought, as you mentioned, Bubba certainly, played another great game, but defensively, you just watch us play, and, this really stuck out to me on tape was just how hard we played. I mean, guys were running around all over the field, pursuing, hitting, striking blocks, tearing off, being really physical, and that was really good to see. That was, as well as we've done that for 4 quarters all season long.
Saw a play there a moment ago by Jalen Hooks, highlight real caliber. Here is a screen pass to Oren Singleton Jr. Man, right? Man, and he gets some positive yardage. And DJ Irons, again, the Zips leading 7-0. This is early second quarter. Irons looking to make something happen, gets it done with his legs, and here comes up with a completion and the first collegiate touchdown for Singleton.
Yeah, it was great. Great to get man in the end zone. Again, he did a really nice job on that play. It was well designed. Really took advantage of the coverage that they were playing, and man ran a great route, and DJ was able to get him the ball.
And as you talked about, here it is, 14-0 with the lead for the second week in a row, just like against Temple. This is early in the second quarter, but then Bryant takes the ball 14 plays down the field. It took them a long time, but they were able to put together a successful drive.
They did. They put together a great drive. You know, and you have to give them a lot of credit, you know, for doing that. They earned that touchdown, and you know, it was nice to see, you know, our ability to kind of respond defensively the next time we got out there.
And offensively here, you have Anthony Williams Jr. making a reception and trying to get some things done on the ground. Norrell's back with the ball, going out of bounds, but you had a couple of drives late in the second quarter that just didn't pan out.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, you know, we've done a really nice job this season in the red area. Unfortunately, this past weekend, we missed out on a couple opportunities. You know, turnover on downs, you know, fumble. And that's, you know, that's unacceptable. We get down in there, we got to be able to put the ball in the end zone, and we got to be able to protect it.
Here's the final drive of the half, a great catch over the middle by George Qualls, who it seems like every game he comes up with one of those types of plays.
Yeah, this was a really nice job, you know, again by DJ of avoiding and kind of sliding in the pocket, and George continuing in on his route, made a great catch and a nice run after to put us in position.
So you're in the red zone, and Norrells goes to work, and watch this pile push. You get down to the 6-yard line. Couple more tries to run it into the end zone, Coach.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's, you know, really, you know, kind of what we wanted to do, you know, was be able to, you know, finish and run that ball in, you know, bleed the rest of the time off the clock. And unfortunately, you know, DJ sort of reached for the end zone on a third and short. He had the first down, and you know, we talk about it all the time. You don't ever extend the ball over the goal line unless it's the last play of the game. And you know, unfortunately, we did that a couple times in the game. One time we lost it, you know, in that picture you just saw, and it cost us. So, you know, need to be better in that area, take care of the football, and score touchdowns in the red zone.
We talked about some similarity to the Temple game the week before when you were ahead 14-0 and things sort of seemed to stall out. Bryant never actually took the lead as Temple did, but you get down to the locker room and it's 14-7. You've had a couple of offensive possessions that were coulda, shoulda, woulda. What is the message at the break in the locker room at that point?
Yeah, you know, I think at that point in the locker room, you know, it was just really like, you know, understanding, you know, what do we need to do, you know, offensively, defensively, to put ourselves in the best position to be successful. I thought our coaching staff did a really nice job of making a few adjustments and, you know, really identifying the areas where we felt we had the greatest advantage and where we could create the best matchups. And, you know, we were able to go out there and execute it in the second half.
He is Tom Arth. I'm Dave Scozen, sitting in for Joe Dunn at Zips Football Weekly. Coming up, we'll take a look at what happened in the second half against Bryant. Again, this is Zips Football Weekly.
You know Miller Lite only has one more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
6G. Growth hacking. Networking. Network.
This is my back before surgery, and then this was it after. These things are in my back right now, helping keep it straight so I get to go back to dance with my friends.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you, Chloe. From my perspective, there is nothing that I wouldn't let you do. Really, all the credit for how well you're doing is just you and how hard you've worked to get back to where you are. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Zips Football Weekly. I'm Dave Scozen, sitting in for Joe Dunn this week, joined by the head coach of the Akron Zips, Tom Arth, coming off of a 35-14 victory at home over Bryant. This past weekend, we just showed you the first half highlights, getting us to a 14-7 Akron lead at the break. Let's take a look at what happened in the second half of this game. And the Zips get the ball first coming out of the locker room, but we were still in that period where it just wasn't to where your team was taking off and running with it right away, was it, Coach?
Yeah, no, you know, unfortunately, you know, we really, you know, had a big goal to come out there and score the opening possession, opening drive of the second half. And unfortunately, we moved the football really well, got down in there, and just were unable to finish down in the red zone.
See DJ Irons there using his legs to pick up an Akron first down, get into Bryant territory. At this point in the game, he already had 2 touchdown passes. And you're working your way into Bryant territory, and here we've got a crazy catch by Anthony Grimes, initially called targeting. It was not, but he stayed on his feet. He never touched the ground here, Coach.
No, I mean, the most impressive part was just his ability to extend and catch the football amidst all that contact. You know, was really impressive, and then to have the wherewithal to pop up and keep running was very impressive.
But an scoring and unproductive drive in terms of scoring. So Bryant gets it back, only down a touchdown, and over 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. And they go to work, and here's Zevi Eckhouse with a play action and a nice little pass play, although Michael Scott tipping it away, and they're not able to come up with a completion.
Yeah, great job by Mike, you know, really getting his hands up, getting a tip on that, and, you know, forcing them into a third down.
So they do go down the field, Bryant does. They do score. Now you get a possession where you move the ball and you take some time off of the clock, and Blake Hester makes an appearance, gets his first, or excuse me, this is Tristan Brank coming out of the backfield. Blake Hester will show up later. He used a lot of different players. Again, 9 different receivers catching the ball on Saturday for the Zips, as Mumfield shows up again and winds up getting it into Bryant territory.
Yeah, and again, just another really great job here from DJ. 3rd and 10. You know, I don't know how many times he did this in the game. Just was able to scramble and pick up first downs with his legs. Here's another one later in the drive, a 3rd and 8. You know, getting us down inside the 5-yard line. You know, it was just a huge play for us.
So then there was a penalty, and then this is the amazing running play by DJ Irons. Takes everybody to one side of the field, and still, until a moment ago, they had a chance to pass it, but then takes off and gets all the way into the end zone for the Akron score to put your team ahead for good.
You know, and that was really, that was such a turning point in the game. You know, I think this play really ignited our team, and everybody rallied around this moment, rallied around DJ and his ability to, you know, really make me right. You know, I made a mistake, and I had a penalty called on me that put us in a really bad situation. And, you know, 3rd and 18, 3rd and goal from the 18, and DJ's able to go down the field and get it in the end zone for us.
And that was the first play of the fourth quarter. So you take the lead, you get a stop, go back to work. Anthony Williams Jr. with some prominence on this upcoming drive, as we see Irons rolling with some play action here, and then gets it to Tristan Brank once again, coming out of that tight end spot.
Yeah, Tristan played a really nice game for us. Was able to be productive for us, both in the run game and, you know, catching the football. Was really good to see, you know, his development so far this season.
Oren Singleton Jr. already with a touchdown reception. We saw him run it there a moment ago, and here is Anthony Williams Jr. again. And this sequence, Coach, a lot of broken tackles here by your running backs.
Yeah, it was great. You know, I thought Anthony played really well. I thought he played his best game. You know, you saw Blake in there, and then obviously this great catch by Kanate Mumfield. You know, one of the best catches I've, you know, been a part of. You know, really remarkable. You know, to make this catch one-handed. You know, in traffic. You know, in such a big moment in the game. You know, it was very impressive from a true freshman.
There was actually a post, I think it might have been from one of his parents on social media, showed him making the same catch in his high school uniform and then making this play. But, I mean, one-handed, you can talk about Odell, you can use all the different superlatives and analogies, but a great play and it puts you up 2 scores.
Yeah, it really was. Really special play. And, you know, and I think we've talked about it. You know, it's what we've seen from Kanate since he's arrived. There hasn't been a day that's gone by at practice or games where he hasn't done something that's made you say, wow. And, you know, that was certainly a pretty special example of that.
2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter, and here comes a fumble and a recovery. Michael Scott is the guy that picks it up and returns it, but you break out the takeaway pencil for the first time this season, Coach, for Logan Hawkins.
Oh, there it is. You know, I was wrapped up in kind of what was happening in the game at that point. I didn't know the pencil made its appearance.
So a 2-score lead, still going at it. Only about halfway through the fourth quarter, DJ Irons going to work again with his legs and juking and jiving and getting it inside the 25-yard line. Irons again, the pressure coming from behind, and he throws a strike. Oh, so close to a touchdown again for Mumfield. And here Anthony Williams Jr. is the one that winds up running it in to get his first score as a Zip.
Yeah, it was really a great play by DJ there. They brought a pressure, played cover 0, which means they have no safety help, and DJ recognized that on his own, was able to check the protection and check to the play, you know, an out-breaking route against inside leverage man, and Kanate made a great catch.
This time, under 4 minutes here, under 3 minutes to go. Keith Ridley Jr. is in as a reserve quarterback for Bryant, and here's DJ Irons on the possession, essentially to run out the clock. That's scary a little bit there when he got the first down, but just to have him out there in a 3-touchdown game and take a hit like that.
No, not at all. That's DJ's game, and we wanted to make sure that we ended with the football. We did not want to punt it. We did not want to give it back to Bryant. Was really proud of our offense. We haven't been in that situation yet this year, 4-minute type of situation, and the ability to run the clock out was really positive.
35-14, the final score. The Zips come away with the win over Bryant. We'll hand out some awards as a result of this week's game when we come back. It's Zips Football Weekly.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Choice Air HVAC. Find them at choiceairwithane.com.
What we make right here at the University of Akron
holds up under pressure.
What we make climbs the ladder and leads to record highs.
What we make lifts us all.
And makes us all better.
With everything we make, everyone rises.
Welcome again to Zips Football Weekly. Dave Scozen sitting in for Joe Dunn this week. The Zips coming off of a win over Bryant at home at InfoCision Stadium, 35-14. Coach Tom Arth joining us. And Coach, let's walk through the players of the week. DJ Irons, your starting quarterback, not just the player of the week for this segment, but the MAC East Offensive Player of the Week. 269 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. He ran it 15 times for 136 and another score. DJ had a great day.
He did. I was really proud of DJ, and I thought he had a great week of preparation. Really every time I walked by the quarterback meeting room, DJ was in there watching film. He was very prepared. He was mentally ready to go, had the right mindset, and came out and, really just, made incredible plays for us all afternoon. And in some moments, particularly some third downs, what he was able to do with his legs and just really willing his way, into the end zone or to get first downs was really impressive. I was really proud of him and proud of how our team played around him.
Prior to this past week, prior to the injury to starting quarterback Cato Nelson, obviously he wasn't probably getting as many reps in practice. How much difference does it make for a guy like that to get the first team reps and be the guy all week?
Oh, it makes a huge difference. I actually I spoke with Coach Gross this morning. He had called and congratulated me, and we were talking about that situation and how challenging it is when you're a backup quarterback, and it's one thing to go into the game when it really, it's kind of out of reach at Auburn and to play really well. But then it's another thing to go in when somebody gets hurt and, you're in a tight game, and then having that ability to, have a full week of preparation and know you're the starting quarterback, all week long. It's a whole nother, part of his evolution as a player. And, I think he's handled all three situations very well. I've been proud of him.
Bubba Arselanian, your defensive player of the week. He came into this past week's game tied for second in the NCAA with 12.5 tackles per game. He lived up to it, 12 tackles once again, but he's all over the field, Coach.
Yeah, Bubba definitely is. You see him, running around and just finding his way to the football, getting guys on the ground, and again watching the film, you're glad you have him, because he definitely makes you right in some instances. Some cases where a running back or a wide receiver may break a big gain. Somehow Bubba finds his way into the play and gets him down. Anybody he reminds you of out of your playing days or coaching days? I don't know. I think he's a pretty unique player. I really do. He's definitely somebody that I would love to be able to compare a future player to, to be honest. But no, I think he's really unique and very very proud of the way he works and prepares. And our special teams player of the week is Corey Smeagle, who is 30 for 30 in his Zips career with points after touchdown. He had all 5 of them converted
on Saturday. What can you say about that type of consistency?
No, it's great. Corey's a very reliable player for us in our program. He's really talented, has the right mindset, what you're looking for from a kicker, and he's going to take advantage of every opportunity that he has. He certainly wants to get out there and kick a bunch of field goals, but we have confidence to put him out there to do that. But, we'd prefer to score touchdowns, and was very pleased that we were able to get him out there for as many extra points as we did.
So Corey Smeagle, our special teams player of the week, coming off of the Zips 35-13 victory over Bryant at Saturday at home at InfoCision Stadium. The next Zips home game is in 2 weeks. It's Saturday, October 2nd against Ohio. That is homecoming. 3:30 kickoff once again. Of course, you can always go to Go Zips for more information there. But the next game in Coach Arth's mind is the game coming up on Saturday at Ohio Stadium against the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll take a preview look at Ohio State when we come back. This is Zips Football Weekly.
Even if this is the three-point line, and this is the hoop, if this is home ice, and this is sticking the landing, kids will find a way to keep playing the sports they love, and we'll keep helping them. After an injury, Akron Children's is dedicated to getting your child back to the game as quickly and safely as possible, however they play it. Learn more at akronchildrens.org/sports.
You know Miller Lite only has one more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
6G. Growth hacking. Networking. Network.
It is Zips Football Weekly. Dave Skozen sitting in for Joe Dunn this week, joined by Tom Arth, head coach of the Akron Zips, coming off of a 35-14 victory over the Bryant Bulldogs. Next up, a trip to Ohio Stadium and a top 25 opponent and the Ohio State Buckeyes. So there's a few dynamics going on here. First of all, does it help your team that you've already played a game in a Power 5 stadium at Auburn and had 3 weeks to digest that, to be ready for an environment like this?
Yeah, I definitely think it does, particularly for our team, who many of our players have never played in front of a crowd, prior to, this season and being at Auburn. So going from no fans to 100,000 fans at Auburn was pretty, pretty new, for them. And certainly having that experience and knowing that we can handle that moment, I think will give our team, greater confidence heading into this one, and certainly less unknown and less anxiety about how the crowd noise is going to affect us, and and all of those sorts of things.
Ohio State always turning over who is playing different roles in their program. C.J. Stroud is the starting quarterback. He's completed 62% of his passes. He's thrown for almost 1,000 yards. In Buckeye country, though, they're still complaining about him a little bit somehow. 8 touchdowns. But Travion Henderson, 277 yards this past Saturday against Tulsa. When you've got that combination, what are the Zips looking to do to try and stop them this coming week?
Well, they certainly are an explosive offense. You look back, at their opening game against Minnesota, and just the number of big plays that they made, was really, incredible. And they have playmakers all over the field. You certainly mentioned 2 of them, but every single player, on that roster is an outstanding football player and capable of beating you. So I think, identifying, those guys and the situations where they want to get them the ball and having a plan to make that difficult, and then also, find out where our matchups are.
Hey, he's Tom Arth, head coach of the Akron Zips. I'm Dave Skozen sitting in for Joe Dunn. This has been Zips Football Weekly.
Thanks for watching Zips Weekly with Tom Arth. Brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling, Akron Children's Hospital, and Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,